All right. We are back. We are here. I know I have some people on the conference call, Salakia. I know I have people on the conference call, Salakia.
Shalom, Lord, Lord in Christ, young man, Abishai.
Shalom, Lord in Christ, brother. All right. We good? We on the live? I was on the posh. Most High in Christ, clap it up. All right. We are here. We are in the building. You understand? It is the history class. You know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's Monday. You understand? It is the history class. All right. How do we get down in the I.S.U.P.K. Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge? Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yahanna. Understand? We teach the history. You understand? Teach history. Whether it's in America, in Europe, South America, all over the world, as long as it relates to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And of course, any history that we teach on, you understand, it will line up with the Bible as well and line up with your lives. You understand? Most High in Christ. I am priest and officer of 500 Hadar Amath. And tonight's class, you understand, is titled SINtergration. You understand? Not integration, but SINtergration. All right. Of course, with today, the 16th of January, you understand, it is so-called Martin Luther King Day. All right, which is really a sad day, understand, for blacks. All right, and also Hispanics and Native Indians. You understand? All right, Martin Luther King Day is a day where oppressors feel the need to put on a happy face, you understand, and show love to blacks. You understand, especially want to go and visit them in barbershops and especially at the church. You understand, and talk about Martin Luther King's so-called dream. You understand, and want to uphold that. All right, but we in the I.S.U.P.K. We have come to the understanding and are teaching others, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that Martin Luther King Day is a complete farce. You understand? It is a facade. All right. It does nothing but keep blacks docile. You understand? It keeps them docile. All right. And it is a token package for the oppressor. Right. It is a token package for the oppressor. You understand? Right. And with that, Salakia, let's get into these scriptures. Let's go ahead and dive right into our lesson. You understand? Talking about SINtergration, okay? Because what was Martin Luther King's so-called dream? What was his goal? To be integrated, Salakia, you understand, with the oppressor, to be hand in hand with the oppressor, all right? To be able to do business, to be seen in public, all right? Right? To get so-called equal rights and civil rights from the oppressor, you understand? But we're going to talk about what the true goal for Martin Luther King, you understand, with his plan for integration. All right, Most High in Christ. Okay, so now with that being said, let's go ahead and again dive right to the scriptures real quick. Let's go ahead and talk about Martin Luther King. All right, let's talk about him according to the scriptures. All right, so if you could, let's turn to Jeremiah. Let's turn to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23. All right. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 23. Yeah, man, Abishai, you have your sword with you?
All
right. You could go ahead and read that for me. Jeremiah 23. Start me off at verses 1 and 2.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 2.
Start me at verse 1. Start me at verse 1.
Verse 1. Woe be unto the pastor that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord.
Okay, start right there. So we just want to give you a little premise, okay, with these scriptures, all right? Here we're seeing about the pastors that want to spread, you understand, the flock of the Most High. Spread the sheep of his pasture. Spread his people out. Have them being dispersed amongst other peoples, as opposed to just being together. You understand? Having them integrated with other people. All right, keep going.
Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people.
Mm-hmm.
Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing.
Okay.
Says the Lord.
Most High in Christ. So now we're showing you, according to these scriptures, that what Martin Luther King was doing for blacks, especially, was evil. You understand? As opposed to gathering them together, like the scriptures say, amongst each other. You understand? In good in righteousness, in morality. You understand? In good business. No, instead he wanted to get them together so then they can go and disperse amongst other people. Okay, that was essentially that's the point of being integrated, right? Being mixed up with other nations. Okay, so now let's get a little more. Let's get a little more on the premise of Martin Luther King. All right, now we talked about just a little on this integration so far. Okay, and what he wanted to do. Okay. He wanted to be integrated. He wanted to be mixed in with the other nations, especially the oppressor. You understand? The ones from the Caucasus Mountains, all right? Because he felt that they could provide better, all right? They had better options, okay, as opposed to sticking with your own. All right? Cool. So now let's go. Let's drop down to verse 25, Baba Kashar.
Verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesied lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed.
Oh wow, look at this. So here's Martin Luther King's claim to fame. I have dreamed. Okay. Hearing what the prophets say and how they prophesy lies in my name. All right, you understand? And remember now, we started off the first scripture. Okay, verse 1, the first word was woe. Woe to these pastors. You understand? Woe to these pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep. Destruction. Okay? And now it's talking about those same kind of pastors, those preachers, those so-called prophets. Now they want to prophesy lies in the name of the Most High. Talk about I have dreamed, all right, on how God wanted you to come together with other nations and be integrated with them. Okay, keep going.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophet that prophesied lies?
How long? How long, man? Martin Luther King died when? 19. What was it? It's either 63 or 68. I forget. Right? When he was assassinated, and we're still believing in his dream. We're still believing that we can be integrated, all right, be mixed in and be respected by our oppressors. You understand? It's been since the 60s when this movement was, correct? And we're still trying to believe it. We're still holding on. And why? How long? How long are we going to believe in this so-called dream? Okay. Officer Napash?
The information is April 4th, 1968.
68.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, thank you very much. So in 1968, and which is interesting, I.S.U.P.K was established after what? 1969. The Most High had enough of Martin Luther King. You understand? Bring out the truth. Let's get to it. All right. Very good. Very good. So now, how long are we gonna believe in this dream? Okay. How long? All right. Because while we're still believing in this dream, Martin Luther King's family is rich. They're making money off this. All right. They make money off this every year. You understand? The publications, the books, the speeches, they make money off this. And what happens with the community? What happens? The house becomes a landmark. They make money off of that. but in that neighborhood, still poor. The surrounding neighborhoods are still poor. But now there's a mega million church, mega $1 million church in that neighborhood as well. There's a museum in that church in that neighborhood, but the community is still poor. Understand? How long are we going to believe in this dream? How long? All right. All right. Cool beans. Now, let's go down to verse 29. Let's go down to verse 29.
Verse 29. Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord?
That's right, because the Most High's words are strong. Most High's words are strong and will and burns the spirit. Okay, but Martin Luther King's words were just smooth like butter, as the scriptures will say. Just smooth, telling you what you want to hear. All right, keep going.
And like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces.
Right.
Verse 30. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophet.
Oh, we.
Saith.
Oh, we, look at that. The prophets who say, I have dreamed. You look further on, the scripture say that the Most High is against the prophets. So now the Most High is against the prophets that want to dream and dream and dream. The scripture says it, that he's against it. How long are you going to still side with the traitor, with the man who sold you out? All right. We had you buy into his dream of integration. And for what? You believe that your water fountains weren't good enough? You believe that your lavatories weren't good enough? Come on. You could topple an empire. You showed it with the boycotts years back. Right now, we're talking to the old school. You showed you could topple an empire, man. You showed that you could pull your money together. You can still do it, but you don't have to do it like Martin Luther King's way. You don't have to do it like Marcus Garvey's way, man. Understand? Come together in righteousness, right? And come together on the I.S.U.P.K. and we will give you a true goal, a true direction. You understand? Because we just can't have our people just marching in circles. All right? Just can't keep marching. Just can't keep going to church and believing in a dream. All right? As much as you want to be integrated, you are just being disintegrated. You understand? You're losing yourself. You understand? And that's why that's one of the reasons that this class is titled SINtergration. Understand? Because we're also going to show you how much of a sin this is against the Most High. All right, keep going.
Verse 30. Therefore, behold, I am against the prophet, saith the Lord, that steal my word,
right?
Every one from his neighbor.
That's right. That's right. He's against so like hold on. He's against these prophets. You understand? It's against Martin Luther King. If you don't believe it, where's Martin Luther King now? Where is he now? Understand? He lifted himself up so high above the people, and the Most High took him down. Understand? As an example for you to not follow after this man. You can't follow after this man. You can't follow after his dream. The Most High put an end to that. You understand? Right? But now, again, how we keep asking, how long will you follow after this man? How long will you follow after his dream? Follow after his principles, right? Go ahead and drop down to like it. Go down to 32.
Verse 32. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith the Lord, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies.
All right.
And by their likeness.
That's right. He calls our people to error, man, to make mistakes, right? To transgress against the Most High. Keep going.
yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all.
That's right.
Saith the Lord.
That's right. The Most High did not send them, man. He did not send Martin Luther King to lead the people. You understand? Now drop down to 34. This is something very important. Drop down to 34.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 34. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house.
I will punish. The Most High said that he will punish that man and his house. Punish the man and his house. So now you saw how the man, Martin Luther King, was punished. Understand? He had a bullet pulling him while with friends off a balcony, right? And then there's a story that more killers came to finish the job while he was in the hospital, right? They came to put it into him. But here's something else that's important. I said, I will punish that man and his house. And his house. Have you seen lately how the house, the family of Martin Luther King Jr., specifically the sons, have been fighting against each other for the rights? You see how they've been fighting against each other? They have been in court for years, fighting against each other, trying to get the rights, trying to see who can make the money off of their father's name. How evil is that, man? How evil is that? But you know why they want to fight against for the money? Because that's what Martin Luther King was in there for. He was for the money. You understand? He wanted to glorify himself. But there was something else that he wanted too. Okay? He didn't just want to glorify himself for the money. He also wanted to glorify himself for his own lust. You understand? For his own lust. Something that he wanted to do for his life. Okay? And he wanted it to be accepted in public. He wanted that to be accepted by society. You understand? Let's go down. Go ahead.
This young man Brian calling me. My phone died.
No sweat, man. Most High in Christ, man. You're here. Most High in Christ. Somebody else say Salakia?
Young man Desmond.
Hey, young man Desmond in the building. Most High in Christ. Good to hear from you, brother.
Good to be here, big bro.
All right. Okay, so now, not only did Martin Luther King have a lust for money, you understand, but let's talk about another lust that he had. All right. Now I'm gonna this is, you know what I'm saying, you understand, this is a history class. So let's bring out a little article, talk about a little history when it came down to Martin Luther King. In the meantime, young man Abishai, if you could have Deuteronomy 7 and 1 ready for me. All right. Okay, so now here is an article about Martin Luther King titled MLK's pink girlfriend speaks out after all these years. Okay, let's see. This is an article you can find it on from The Root, I believe theroot.com. All right. Reading a little excerpt. In 1986, a biography of King titled Bearing the Cross by David Garrow, right? And in this book, there was a serious love affair between King and a woman named Betty, while King was 19 years old studying at Crozier Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania, right? Reading on, said Park quotes that the Reverend Pius J. Barber as having said that King never recovered from this relationship and that it's unraveling and left him a broken man, a man with a broken heart. Now, this woman, this pink woman, you understand, he was so in love, right? Let's keep going. It also says, her name was Betty Moitz. Betty Moitz. Betty, Betty Moitz, Moitz. Okay? From the start, Moitz and King's relationship was anything but carefree. Almost all of King's friends, including Reverend Barber, tried to discourage him from staying with Betty, knowing what an interrelationship, interracial relationship would mean for his future. Quote, I thought it was a dangerous situation that could get out of hand. And if it did get out of hand, it would smear King. End quote. His Crozier classmate, Cyril Pyle, recalled in a 1986 interview. And quote, it would make his future hard for him. Why would his future be so hard for him? Dating a pink woman during the oppressive times of coloreds only. You understand? Where blacks couldn't go to certain restaurants. They couldn't use public facilities. You understand? What else? What else did they have to do? They had to go give up their seat and move to the back of the bus so that an oppressor could sit in the front. You understand? And so many other things. But now these are the people that you want to date, these people you want to fall in love with. But then you have the nerve to want to represent black people. You understand? Let's get a little more. Get a little more on this, man. A lot of people need to hear this. Here's another quote. Quote: Crozier was known as a, and this is the seminary where he was at, the theological school he was at. Crozier was known as a very radical and religious institution, and this is coming from Moitz. She told, and she was so surprised to hear from ML, and that was his name. That's what she called him, ML, and how he had conservative beliefs. Interesting. And then she says he would talk and talk and talk. So even back then, he was a real good talker. You understand? Selling people's the dreams. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Our people fell for it. People fell for it, you understand? Let's get a little more. All right, before we get into the scriptures. Young ML kept the relationship of him and Moitz a secret, and he kept it from his family. He was especially concerned about the affair getting back to his mother, who he knew would be disappointed. Disappointed. And why would she be disappointed? Because if I'm believing, they were the ones trying to follow after the Bible, right? They knew a little bit of the scriptures, but also they knew how society was going. They knew how society was going. How would it look for you to be walking down the street holding hand in hand with a race that's completely the opposite of you, with a race that's oppressing you, and you think that love, your love in this relationship, can change society? You understand? That doesn't make any sense. That's nonsense. Matter of fact, right? Cool. Now this is just a little bit, and the thing is, a lot of people don't know this kind of information. That he had a pink girlfriend, and yet you know what he did? He gave her up as a business move. All right, he gave her up as a business move. You understand? Because he didn't want to make it look good for the papers. All right. Here we go. ML would have known that dining at a predominantly oppressive or pink restaurant was a risky proposition, not only for himself, but for Betty as well. But their relationship was a way for him to test the limits of Northern culture. Remember now, they were in Pennsylvania. Such boundary pushing becomes easier when one starts to fall in love. And according to Betty, that's exactly what was happening. Now, when you want to be so-called in love, you forget the actual rules of society. This is when you start hearing that love is love. Doesn't make any sense. All right? And then look what happens. Eventually, King went on to a married friend for advice named Horace Whitaker, who said he dreaded telling King his thoughts about the romance's viability. Why would you dread telling this? Why would you dread telling him, say, hey man, it's not a good look for you to be with an oppressor. It's not a good look, man. Matter of fact, that's the wrong thing to do. One, you can get yourself killed. You're gonna get other people killed as well. Believe in your nonsense, thinking they can do the same thing you doing. You understand? Like, come on, man. Come on. That relationship he had, and he dumped her, but then he was so brokenhearted. It was a business move. All right. And he knew, and if he knew a society found out, he would have been seen as a hypocrite. Nobody would have believed him. Nobody would be going to believe that you're fighting for black rights with a pink with pinky on your arm. Come on, man. Come on, man. So now we see what society thought about that back in the day. Let's see what the scriptures say about it. Yeah, man, I was shy. Deuteronomy, go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 21.
No, 7. So like it. No, Deuteronomy 7 and 1.
7 and 1. Like Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Okay, just real quick. Now, do a little premise. All these nations that we just named from the scriptures are all oppressive nations. You understand? Nations that are enemies of the Israelites. All right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them
Mm-hmm.
and utterly destroy them.
That's right.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them,
Okay.
nor show mercy unto them.
Okay, so now this does this sound like equal rights to you? Does this sound like equal rights? Does this sound like you're being integrated? Does it sound like being mixed in? No, get rid of them, right? This is back in the day. This is the ancient days in the scriptures, right? Keep going.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
You see that?
Thy daughter.
Hold on. You see that? Neither will you make marriages with them. It said, the Most High said earlier, to all these other nations, okay, smite them, destroy them, get rid of them. Don't make no covenant with them. Don't show them no mercy. Don't be with them. Don't be mingled in with them. Don't be integrated with them, right? And then it says, just in case, don't make marriages with them either. Keep going.
Thy daughter, thou
Uh-huh.
thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Okay, so now, and the Most High wanted to make it clear. He wanted to make it clear on both ends of the spectrum. Don't give your daughters to them. Don't take their sons, and vice versa. Don't do it. But why is that? I mean, because this is supposed to be the human race. Human race. Love is love. Why can't other nations be with other nations? But specifically, why can't blacks be with Pinky? You understand? Why can't blacks be with the yellows? Why not? Why can't blacks be with the grays? Why not? Why do blacks only have to stay with brown and orange? Why is that? Let's see what the scriptures say about it. Keep going. Verse 4.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son.
They will what? Hold on, they were what?
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Exactly. They will turn your heart from the Most High. They will turn your heart from the Most High. Keep going.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
That's right. Keep going.
That they may serve other gods.
And what's that last
So
part?
will the anger of the
Yes. Keep going.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
And you will be destroyed, man. Not only you want to get with these people, you want to get with Pinky, you want to get with the yellows, you want to get with the grays, all right? You want to get with all these other colors, all these other crayons in the coloring box. You understand? But you don't want to love your own, man. You want to love your own. And you're not going to love the Most High either. Because the scriptures even said it. The scripture said, you want to be integrated? They will take you away from me. Right? Don't the scriptures say that the Most High is a jealous God? That's what the scriptures say. But he's explaining to you why. He's explaining to you. Right? That these people will take you away from me. And not only will they destroy you, but I'm going to want to destroy you too. Come on, man. It's right there in the scriptures. But again, man, we said this before, man. Your pastor is not going to teach you this. Your pastor is going to teach you that love is love. We're all humans. He's not going to teach you that you are supposed to be the best, that you are the best. And these so-called oppressors, they are beneath you. They are beneath you. You are supposed to be on top in righteousness. You're not supposed to be integrated with them. You're not supposed to be compromised with them. They're supposed to be serving you. You understand? Serving you. Not how Martin Luther King wanted. Okay? Martin Luther King wanted to be with the oppressors so he could have a relationship with them. All right? So it would not be seen as a public indecency. You understand? And he wouldn't have to worry about running from a lynch mob and being hung in a back alley. He wanted to be accepted by society. Right? He wanted to be accepted by society as opposed to being accepted by God. All right? Let's get a little more. Okay? Let's get a little more on these beliefs of Martin Luther King, man. What he really wanted to do. All right. Let's see. Let's go. We're already in the Old Testament. You know what? Let's make a big jump. Let's make a big jump, man. Let's jump to the Apocrypha. Let's jump into the Apocrypha, man. Let's see what the Apocrypha has to say about this. Right? Let's go to the book of Tobit. You have the Apocrypha, young man Abishai?
God out of one con.
All right, Most High Christ. Let's go to the book of Tobit. Let's go to chapter 4. Starting off at verse 12. Papa Kasha.
God out of one con. The book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
All right.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Hold on, a seed of your what?
And chiefly take a wife
Mm-hmm.
of the seed of thy father.
Okay, keep going.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
And take not a strange woman to wife. You understand? When you see strange woman is a woman who is not of your creed. You understand? She's not of your creed. She's not of your makeup. You understand? She is not Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. She's not an Israelite. She's not she's not one of God's chosen people. You understand? She is somebody who's supposed to be a servant in this earth to you. Right? You're not supposed to choose her. You're not supposed to choose an oppressor. You understand? You're not supposed to choose a strange woman, as the scriptures say. All right? Very good. Keep going.
And take not a strange woman to wife,
Mm-hmm.
which is not of thy father's tribe.
Keep going.
For we are the children of the prophet
Mm-hmm.
Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
All right, look at that. So now we have examples to follow as well. We have examples to follow. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They all married their own people. They married their own people. They didn't marry oppressors. They didn't marry people from other nations. Understand? They married their people. Keep going.
And were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
All right.
Verse 13.
Yes.
Now therefore, my son, love thy brother, and
That's true.
despise not in thy heart thy brother.
That's right.
The sons
Hold on, right there.
And daughters.
No, that was very good right there. Like, love your brethren. All right. We have had a history of not loving one another. All right. We have had a history of choosing our oppressors in other nations that are ruling over us while in captivity. All right. We have had a history of choosing them as opposed to choosing our own, loving our own. You understand? Showing mercy to our own, showing compassion to our own, man. We've had a history of this, man. All right. We've got to stop this. We've got to stop this. All right. Keep going.
Time at one time. For in pride is destruction.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. For in pride is destruction. All right. Pride. All right. Pride for the other nations. All right. Want to be like them, and you destroy yourself. Keep going.
And much trouble. And in lewdness is decay.
Mm-hmm.
And great want.
Very good. Very good. Very good. All right. Cool beans now. So now that we see that, let's get some more, man. Let's keep feeding the people. Understand? Showing them that this isn't a fluke. Okay. Now, you're not just gonna see this, just one time. Okay. Let's show them how they're very serious about this. All right. Let's go back into the Old Testament. Understand? And let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11. Okay.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 11.
Yeah, starting off at verse 1.
Verse 1. King Solomon loved many strange women.
Okay, now look at here. Now this is King Solomon. King Solomon, an Israelite, son of David, son of King David, Salaki, right? And what was King Solomon? King Solomon was revered to be the wisest man on earth. Wisest man on earth, right? And now let's see how he fell. Okay, somebody who's supposed to be like the wisest man on earth, make the smartest decisions, the best decisions. Okay, and let's see how he turned out. All right, keep going.
Well, King Solomon loved many strange women.
Mm-hmm.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
All right.
Women of the Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Sidonian, and Hittite.
Okay, real quick. So now, King Solomon loving many strange women. And who did they start off with? Said together with the daughter of Pharaoh. And now where do you hear pharaohs? Pharaohs are Egyptian. And now, what are the Egyptians famous for? Oppressing Israelites. being one of the harshest oppressors, the Israelites at the time. But now King Solomon is in love with an oppressor, a strange woman. All right. And then look, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites. All right. And what are Edomites? Edomites comes from Esau. All right. Esau is the brother that hates Jacob, that hates Israel. Right. Jacob, Israel, who is the progenitor of the Israelites. You're loving a people that hates Israelites. Doesn't make any sense. All right. Keep going.
Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you.
Okay, now hold on real quick. So now we're in First Kings, and he said how these nations concerning Israel, that what said earlier, that you should not go into them, and they shall not come into you. You should not be integrated with them. You should not be mixed up with them. Right? Keep going.
For surely they will turn away your heart after their God.
All right. They will turn your heart away from the Most High. Keep going.
Solomon clave unto these in love. Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart.
That's right. These wives. He had at least 700 wives. If I'm correct, these wives were the heathens. The heathens. All right. He was getting so much action from other nations, man. And he could have had that. He could have had good action from his own people. You understand? His own people. And what happens? The wisest man on earth fell for the delusion of being with an oppressor, man. He fell for his own lust. All right. Again, man, this is what our people have had a history of, man. Not loving our own. All right. But wanting to love other nations and propagating that, man. Falling for these dreams of the prophets, man, of the so-called prophets, following the dreams of these so-called leaders, that you could be mixed in with your oppressor and you can gain respect from your oppressor, that you could be on equal terms and you can have equal rights from your oppressor. You understand? You can't. You're not. You're not, man. It's not realistic. And above all else, it's not godly. It's not godly. Why is it not godly? Because the Most High speaks against it. He is against it. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 4. For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
All right.
And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God.
You see? You see? You're not perfect with the Most High. Here's the scripture showing you that you can be perfect with the Most High. That you're not just gonna. It's not about we all fall short. Nah, man, you can be perfect. You can be perfect in the eyes of the Most High. Not in the eyes of man. You're perfect in the eyes of the Most High, which counts the most. Understand? Stop trying to be so accepted by society. Understand? Be accepted by the Most High. Understand? When we tell you something simple, hey man, you shouldn't be eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You shouldn't do that. Brother, you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes. Brother, you shouldn't be smoking weed. Sister, you shouldn't be dancing on the pole.
Like you.
Go ahead.
If I may, out of wine, that's when you trim your ways, ain't it?
That's right. Don't worry, we're gonna get to that. But here's the thing though. When we tell people all this, That brother, you shouldn't eat shouldn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Shouldn't be doing drugs. Sister, you shouldn't be on the pole. You shouldn't be jumping from man to man. Brothers, sisters, you shouldn't be trying to live an alternative lifestyle. You know what the kickback is? The kickback is it's cool when they do it. It's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it. And guess what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is a problem when you do it. It is a problem because the Most High told you not to do it. Most High told you not to do it. That's why our people have the highest stats when it comes to AIDS. Because they think they can live an alternative lifestyle like the oppressor. That's why our people are the highest in the stats of being homeless, out on the street, strung out on drugs, going out of their minds, suffering from schizophrenia. Because the Most High is against it. You understand? That's why our people are the highest in the charts when it comes to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, high cholesterol. Why? Because the Most High is against the things that you're eating. Not with the oppressor. Again, you get mad. You want to say it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right. You think it's a problem? When you want to start dating Pinky? You want to date Becky? See what happens. Matter of fact, if you're not sure, ask OJ. See how that turned out for him. If you're not sure, ask Lamar Odom. See how that turned out for him. Matter of fact, look at the stories with Kobe Bryant. You see how that turned out for him.
Right.
If you're not sure, ask Tiger Woods. Ask Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' career has not been the same since he got involved with Becky. And Becky got upset with him. And he ran from Becky. His career has not been the same since. All right? Let's get some more, man. Because we really have to hammer this thing in, man. Really have to hammer this thing in. This is what Martin Luther King wanted. Martin Luther King wanted to be like King Solomon in his later years. All right? That's what he wanted. He went against what Moses said. All right? But Moses wasn't the only one who felt like this, man. All right? Let's go to let's see. Let's go to the book of Ezra. Let's go to the book of Ezra real quick. Another prophet felt the same way. Why? Because this is what the Most High wanted. This is what the Most High said. You understand? Let's go to the book of Ezra. Let's see. I want that. Yes. Let's go to the book of Ezra, chapter 9. And let's go to verse 12.
Khan and the one Khan. The book of Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 12.
Hold on, no, so like it. Let's start me off at verse 11. Verse 11. All right, because you're gonna see how, like, early in the chapter, pretty much that they're gonna do a lot of repeating. You understand? Saying the same thing that Moses has said about the certain nations. Right? Keep going. Okay, now start me off at verse 11, chapter 9.
Khan at 1, verse 11. Which thou hast commanded by thy servants the prophet, saying, the land unto which ye go to possess it is an unclean land, with the filthiness of the people of the land.
Wow, look at this. The filthiness of the people. These people in this land that is not Israel, they're filthy, they're unclean, they're dirty. You understand? How many times have you noticed that that Becky has to wash her hair? Right? Why? Because if she doesn't wash her hair, she gets lice. You understand? She gets lice in her hair. Right? How often do you have to teach Becky, you gotta teach Karen to wash with a washcloth as opposed to just using hand in the soap. They're not clean people. I know y'all seen these videos on the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and how they're trying these cooking contraptions. You understand? What they're doing? They're making soup in the toilet. You understand? They want to clean their food with what? Bleach in the sink. No water. These nations are abominable. You understand?
Yes.
They are abominable. Keep going.
The land unto which ye go to possess it is an unclean land. With the filthiness of the people of the land.
That's right.
With their abomination, which have filled it from one end to the other, like it, from one end to another, with their uncleanness.
With their uncleanness, you understand? They are a plague. They are a virus. They go from people to people, land to land, country to country, with their filthiness. You understand? Has anybody seen a video circulating, right? About Steve, who talks about being an athlete and being with his friends and playing a game called Ookie Cookie? Has anybody seen that?
No, sir.
No sweat. Well, let me give you
Never heard of that.
Cool. No sweat. Let me give a quick synopsis. It's a game where Steve and his friends will play, where they stand in a circle, and there is literally a cookie on a stand, right? And the game is, and please listen to what I'm telling you. The game is these people have to relieve themselves in a sexual way onto the cookie. The last one to relieve themselves has to eat the cookie and everything that has been secreted on top of it.
Like it.
Did you hear what I said?
Conscious. See my face over here. I don't want.
Yes. It's either called ugly cookie or ookie cookie. Again, these heathens stand in a circle where they relieve themselves in a sexual way, and the last person to do it has to eat the cookie. It's a game. It's a game. Go ahead.
Like relieve themselves, like how?
Relieve themselves sexually.
Like a guy go and
Yes, sexually.
whack his.
Where the proper term will be to either ejaculate or masturbate.
Oh,
Yes. 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 These people are abominable. But this is who MLK wanted to be integrated with. You understand? Now let's go down to verse 12. Salakia.
Found out at one time. The book of Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 12. Now therefore, give not your daughters unto their sons.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Neither take their daughters unto unto your son,
Uh-huh.
nor seek their peace,
Hold on. What now?
Nor seek their peace.
Don't seek their peace. Don't seek their peace. You understand? Thinking that you can be on equal terms with them. All right? Thinking you can be equal with them. You understand? If you remember a video of when they first started integrating the schools, and they had this little black girl who had to make that walk to an all predominant school that's only filled with Steve and Becky with it. And they sent Roxanne out there. And she had to have a police escort. You understand? You see how frightening that is? But also, do you understand how unnecessary that was? How unnecessary that was. You think that you see how angry those people were? How they just wanted to kill her because she had the absolute nerve and the gall to step in their land and want them to teach her. And because you think that you're going to be accepted by them because you don't want to be violent. Come on, man. Come on. You could have stayed with your own people. And you could have been at peace with your own people. It was so unnecessary. Keep reading.
John out of one con, that you may be strong.
Hold on, Salaki. We missed the phrase. We said not seek their peace, but what else?
Salaki out of one, or their work,
or their wealth. Don't seek their wealth. You understand? And what we mean by don't seek their wealth, when it came to the civil rights, you wanted to be in business with them. You thought that they could provide you with better schools. You thought they could provide you with better jobs, better books, better water fountains, better lavatories. And you already had it. You had everything you needed with your own people. You understand? And then when you want to seek their wealth, you want to seek their money, what are they going to do? In order for you to get it, you have to submit to their will. Now, you want their money, you can't have your business. You can't have your own business. You're not going to see the old school mom and pop stores anymore. Now you're going to have that in corporate America. You get taken over and you get eaten alive. Understand? And then what it says, don't seek their peace or their wealth forever. Forever. We've been seeking their peace since past 1968. All right. We're seeing this in the scriptures in the ancient days. And the prophets are telling us to not seek their peace. And yet we're still doing it. We're still thinking that we can seek their peace and it'll be fine. I've been told the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over, the same way, and expecting different results. Come on, man. We can't keep doing this. Can't keep doing this. Keep reading.
That ye may be strong.
Uh-huh.
And eat the good of the land.
That's right.
And leave it for an inheritance to your children forever.
That's right, man. We're supposed to not only leave these scriptures for an inheritance for our children, but we were supposed to leave a kingdom. You understand? We were supposed to leave land for our children, money, businesses, and inheritance. What do we leave our children now? Children of your parents, what were you left when your parents left? Some people were left with nothing. Some people were left with debt. You understand? Some people were just left alone. Nothing to pass down. You understand? But instead of passing down wealth as an inheritance, what are we passing down? We're still passing down to the traditions of our oppressors. That's what we're passing down. We pass down the tradition of our oppressors. That's why our children get get lineups when they're 1 year old. When they're 1, 2 years old, they can't handle that. And most times their natural hairline is already in place. But now because the oppressor said it's something you should do, we go and do it. We pass down the traditions of celebrating Halloween. You understand? We tell our kids, don't talk to strangers. Don't go to the strangers' houses. But then Halloween, it's okay. Spin the block. Get all the candy you can. Don't talk to strangers, but it's okay to sit on this man's lap for Christmas, thinking that he's a magical character. Those are the traditions that we pass down nowadays. The traditions of our oppressors. We don't pass down real knowledge and wisdom and understanding according to these scriptures. We don't pass that down anymore. You understand? That's what the point of class is. You know what I'm saying? Historically, our people have had a problem doing this. And it's time to end the generational curse. You understand? It's time to end the SINtergration. Right? Stop trying to be integrated with your oppressors. You understand? It's bad enough you got to work with them. But now you want to live with them? You want to love them? No. Because trust, they don't want to live with you. They don't want to love you. They want you to love them. They don't want to work with you. They want you to work for them. You understand? They want you to work for them. And you really think that they're for you? Start talking politics. Matter of fact, start talking the history. Talk history. Understand? I saw this morning where what was it? Is King Charles now? King Charles was talking about the how his family made money off the slave trade in the news. Isn't that something? And how about this? This morning, there was a brother and I, and we saw on the news, and we started talking out loud about it. Out loud. And all the Steves and the Beckys that were in the break room sat at one table together, and they put their head down like they couldn't like they were ignoring us. We talked out loud. He said, "Wow, look, imagine that." We said it was just being rhetorical, asking rhetorical questions. Wow, who would have thought that the Queen of England got so rich because she had a hand in the slave trade? She had her hands in the slave trade. Who would have thought that's how she got her? That's how she got her kingdom. Who would have thought that's how she got all her inheritance, all her money? And all the Steves and Beckys put their head down and pretended like they didn't hear us. You understand? Talk to me. Go ahead.
That sounds like the same reason why they're trying to keep the critical race theory out of the curriculum in the public schools.
Very good. Yes. They don't want to be. They do not. Trust me. They do not want to be reminded.
That's it.
They do not want to be reminded of what they've done. Right? That's why they always say, well, you know what I'm saying? It's just like when they want to wear blackface for Halloween or for some little project. This happens every year. And say, oh, well, you know, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And then they want to brush it under the rug. They want to sweep it under the rug and hurry up and get rid of it. But the moment you get out of pocket and you do something that they don't like, they're going to keep reminding you. They're going to keep reminding you of what you did, and dehumanize you and demonize you and make you out to be a criminal. That's it. Again, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when you do it. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Where else can we go, man? Let our people know. Matter of fact, see what time is it? We're doing good. Okay, so now we've talked about Martin Luther King, and we talked about what some of his beliefs, some of his true goals. You understand? For the civil rights movement, for so-called integration. All right. We also talked about how the scriptures are absolutely against Martin Luther King and his plan for integration. All right. But now let's take a look at some of the ramifications. Let's take a look at some of the after effects. Okay. Take a look at some of the after effects of what's happened. All right. Because of this. Okay. And it's very good because we just saw the scripture saying that how you should not seek their peace or their wealth forever. Okay. Should not seek their peace or their wealth forever. So now, this is, of course, history class. So now I'm going to bring up another article, if I could. And this time, this article is titled, How Black Fraternities Are Actually Harmful to Black Culture in the U.S. All right. Again, Black fraternities are actually harmful to Black culture in the U.S. Here we go. Now, more than a century old, Black Greek letter organizations, also known as the BGLO fraternities, have more than 800,000 members. But are such organizations an asset, or do they work against African American culture? Ali Chambers argues that rather than unifying the Black community against the effects of racial prejudice, they have merely become a vehicle for Blacks to assimilate into Becky's culture and society, and a means to create a self-perpetuating Black oligarchy. Okay? It's like a Black oligarchy. All right? That's a new word for you. Oligarchy. Reading on. Conversely, many of their harshest critics maintain that the activities of organizations that have, and this is talking about Black fraternities, they have included secret meetings, selective membership, and a preference for lighter complexions, have allowed Black elites to create a separate privileged society based on snobbery and arrogance, and have thus enabled these organizations to perpetuate the vicious cycle of racial prejudice and white supremacy. Okay, and now another one of the reasons we're reading this article, we're bringing this up, is because for those who should know, or maybe who don't know, Martin Luther King was a part of a fraternity as well. He was part of a fraternity as well. He was a Greek. You understand? I do believe he was an alpha, if I'm correct. The parts, if you could look that up for me. I believe he was either an Alpha Phi Alpha or a Sigma Phi Beta Sigma, I believe. Martin Luther King, what fraternity was he a part of? All right. Reading on before we get that, while we're waiting, getting that information. Historian and sociologist W.E.B. Du Bois at times openly condemned Black fraternities. During a 1930 commencement address at Howard University, Du Bois stated, quote, "Our college man today is, on the average, a man untouched by real culture. He deliberately surrenders to selfish and even silly ideals, swarming into semi-professional athletics and Greek letter societies. We have in our colleges a growing mass of stupidity and indifference." Now, isn't that interesting? Now, this was in 1930. 1930. And now, so for my brothers on the conference call, when you hear about and we have more to read for the article. When you hear about black fraternities, what are some of the things that you associate them with?
Like that one.
Go ahead.
If I may, the Greeks.
Mm-hmm. What else do you associate black fraternities nowadays with?
Like,
Go ahead.
the cult. I'm just guessing.
No sweat. No sweat. They come off as a cult. I can see that. But pretty much nowadays, black fraternities are just associated with dancing and parades, parties. That's what they're known for. Stepping. Right? And when you hear about their community service, it's only really their community service usually takes place when they're trying to initiate more recruits, or on their so-called like Founders Day, within the time span of their Founders Day. Okay, when their chapter, when their organization was established. Okay, that's really when you hear about them, they're quote unquote doing community service, right? But normally you're not going to see you're not going to be like riding down the street and you'll see Alpha Phi Alphas giving out food, you know what I'm saying, or trying to host like free business seminars to try to teach the people. You're not going to see that, right? You're not going to see the AKAs handing out clothes. You're not going to see this, right? You just see them grouped up together in college, right? Going to parties. That's it. That's it. All right. Let's continue on. Oh yeah, and real quick, also with this, we heard. What did we see? We saw selfish and silly ideals. All right, and that, what does that go with? That goes along with the hazing. Okay, because also for some of the people who have pledged and or have heard of people pledging, right? There are a lot of tragic stories. Recently, tragic stories about people dying. You understand? People being killed during hazing. Okay, and when they've been asked to do foolish things, man, just to gain the attention of others and gain the respect. Officer Napash, go ahead.
They were saying he was a Greek fraternity.
Yes. Now, which one?
One said Greek Dapper.
No sweat.
Yeah, Greek Dapper.
No sweat. Let's get some more. Let's get some more information. We'll find this out. All right. Continuing on in the article. Although the BGLO had a specific aim of liberating the black community from inferior positions as second-class citizens, many viewed these organizations as a means for the black bourgeois to create, that's like the black bourgeoisie, to create and maintain privileged status and recognition within the black community. Doesn't that sound kind of familiar, right? About how, you understand, like if you were part of a certain fraternity, that you were just better than everybody else, right? Doesn't that sound familiar? Let's read on. Nevertheless, despite their use of elitism and snobbery, the popularity of the black fraternity was furthered by both the exclusivity of these organizations and the notion that they helped to produce a better class of black people. So now, what does that sound like to y'all brothers? That last line. The notion that they helped produce a better class of black people. Young man Brian, was that you? Or young man Desmond? Who was that? All right, go ahead.
The question.
Okay.
How they try to whitewash like a strong black brother that talk white, act white.
Uh-huh. Okay, very good. I like that. Very nice, very nice. Essentially, you're right. How you essentially have to whitewash the community, whitewash your own community. Okay, but as a matter of fact, we're going to get more into that. Okay, very good. Now we left off with the notion that they helped to produce a better class of black people, rather than adhering to their own traditions and cultural attitudes. Many members of the BGLOs abandoned traditional African views, really is black, you understand, and adopted the views of the dominant Anglo culture. Right? Anglo culture. Okay. Although the BGLO has served as a safe haven for black thought and allowed for new attitudes regarding the future of the black community, these organizations were conceived within the Western culture, which over time reflected the views of a racist society and thus became a hindrance to the furtherance of the black community. In this respect, the BGLO became a cultural incubator that mirrored Becky's communities or the Anglo communities' preoccupations, prejudices, and desires. You understand? So now, remember the from the old from brothers who remember the story from the old school, the brown paper bag test, right?
Yes, sir.
Or you know what I'm saying, once you go white, you see the light, and then of course how they want to divide us by, you know what I'm saying, light skin and dark skin, and prefer the light skin, and even those people who were light skinned would try to pass for being Anglo-Saxon, and then want to leave their darker brothers and sisters behind. Remember how the push to have for women to have their hair permed? You understand? And remember the brothers who had the strong afro cut their hair to have low fades so they would not be a threat. They cut their beards. Okay? Come on, man. It's right here, man. And remember now, again, these black fraternities, they promote that as well. They all promote that. Okay? Let's read on real quick. The creation of the black fraternity had a dual purpose. For these organizations were established for the greater goal of pooling the resources of African Americans in the hopes of acquiring education. Second, these organizations were formed as an attempt by black students to gain acceptance into American society. That is, the campus community, right? By emulating and creating organizations that mirrored pre-existing organizations, right? So since now a brother couldn't be part of Lambda, you understand? he couldn't be part of Alpha Pi Alpha. Now he's going to make up his own. Since he can't be part of Alpha Pi Alpha, now he's going to make up his own and create Alpha Phi Alpha. Because you couldn't be accepted in their country club. You want to get mad. Billy won't let me in his treehouse. You want to get upset. You got your own yard. You got your own friends. You got your own people. You understand?
That's right.
All right.
So lucky out of one.
Go ahead.
Out of one, would that be you think that would also be like a prerequisite for for young black students that want to go off into politics later on in their life? You think that?
Absolutely. That's what they use it for. They use it for to a so-called network. All right. But the thing is, even with that, believe it or not, it doesn't always work out like that. It doesn't always work out like that. Just because you got the same letters, it does not always work out like that at all. Because I've seen brothers, I've seen sisters, who have those Greek letters, and then guess what? It's still hard for them to find work. Still hard for them to find work, man. Understand? All right. Let's see now. And here's our last paragraph of this article. From as early as the 1700s. Remember now, this is the history class. From as early as the 1700s, blacks in America have believed that there were conditions placed on them to justify equality or citizenship. These included acceptance of Christianity, participation in the military, obedience in Republican or Democratic principles, and economic development. Taken together, these can be encapsulated as the, quote, be like us, end quote, theory of equality. That blacks will be equal to whites when they become like whites. Another approach was an attempt to adjust all thought and action to the will of the greater group assimilation into Becky's culture and society. A third path was a conscious effort at self-realization and agency. You see, these black fraternities, they don't mean anything. All right, they don't mean anything, man. They're not helpful. They're not helpful, man. You know how many people, brothers and sisters, man, go broke trying to be a part of these fraternities? And tell me this: what happens? What happens when the children they get hurt during these hazing periods? All right. Remember now, some of these people have died. Okay. Some of them have died, man. Come on, man. Yes. Oh, and just in case I was correct, Martin Luther King was part of Alpha Phi Alpha. That was the fraternity he was a part of. Okay. So now with this article being read, let's see if we can find some scriptures to support what we're saying. All right. To show that this is all true. Okay. Cool. Now let's start us off with let's go back to the scripts. Let's go to let's start us off, man, in Proverbs, man. One of my favorite books. Let's go to Proverbs 3:31, please.
Another one time. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Wow, look at that. envy not the oppressor, and envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. You understand? Don't be mad at the oppressor. Don't be jealous of him. All right? Don't be jealous of the oppressor. Billy has his tree house. He has his country club. All right? And because you're not accepted, now you want to get upset. All right? I do believe that the black fraternities started because they had a brother in one of those country clubs who was so light-skinned he could pass. You understand? He passed the paper bag test. Matter of fact, he was lighter than that. And they thought he was one of them. They thought he was an Edomite. And he got all the secrets. You understand? And they said, hey, we're going to start our own. For what? For what? And you took their same traditions too. Took their same traditions, man. That's why Omega Phi Psi has been rumored for years. And Kappa Phi Alpha. No, not Kappa Alpha. Kappa Alpha Psi, right? For wanting to live an alternative lifestyle. You understand? Come on, man. So now we just saw the envy, not the oppressor, man. You don't have to be like him. All right. Let's get some more. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 23 and 2. Salakia. Yeah, the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 2.
Go ahead, brother. Gotcha. Book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrest judgment.
That's right, man. Don't fall after this multitude to do evil. All right? Because here's something else. Once you want to join a fraternity, a lot of times you're gonna take on their ways. Okay, you're gonna start doing what they do. Right? You know the line: when in Rome, you do as Rome. Right? Do as the Romans do. All right? And I'll tell you this: I've seen good people once they join the fraternities, they join the sororities, they change. They change, man. It's not for the better. You know. Suddenly now, you know you're partying all the time. You understand? We saw the scripture about saying not choosing whoredoms, not following the whoredom, right? And that's what a lot of these fraternities and sororities are associated with. They're just like big sex parties. You understand? Some guys having sex with guys having sex with multiple women, same time. Women having sex with multiple men. Gets to the point, woman gets pregnant, and guess what happens? She has no idea who the baby father is, who the child's father is. She has no idea because she has been literally ran through so many men. Why? Because they're all associated with the Greek letters. Understand? Yeah, are these fraternities and sororities supposed to be about brotherhood and sisterhood? It's supposed to be uplifting the black community. How? You're not doing it. You're not doing it. Hey, quick question: Did anybody see the fraternities? Any police protests? Did you see any of them protesting for Trayvon Martin, George Floyd?
No, sir.
I didn't see none of them. You understand? But they're supposed to be uplifting the black community. Where were they? Partying, probably. Understand? Let's get some more. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah. Go back to Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah got some good things to say, man. Chapter 2, verse 33. Baba Kashaw.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 33.
Go ahead.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Wow, look at that. This is what the brother was looking for earlier, right? When you wanted to be accepted and in an oppressive society. You want to be accepted by them. The scriptures say, why would you trim your ways? Why would you change for them? Why would you bleach your skin for them? You understand? Why? You want to bleach your skin, it's permanent. When they do blackface, it's only temporary. You understand? When they pretend to be you, it's only temporary. You want to be them, it's forever. Understand? You cut your hair for them. You cut your beard for them because you don't want to look so masculine. You don't want to look intimidating. You understand? Why? Sisters, you perm your hair so you can get that job, so you can be accepted by them. Sisters, you blonde your hair so you can look like them. And then you want to say, well, hey, I can rock blonde as good as Becky. Why? Why? Can she rock braids as good as you? Can she rock a fro as good as you? No, it's not her culture. But here's the thing. What if Becky came in with an afro? How would you feel then? What if Karen came in with cornrows? You would be livid. You'd be so upset. And black women will say like, "Oh, here they come, trying to be like us, trying to take our men." Why do you think they're getting Botox now? Because they're trying to look like you. They're trying to look like you. You understand? That's why they get the implants. That's why they want to make their cheeks fuller, their lips thicker. You understand? That's why they get the breast enhancements. That's why they now all of a sudden now, so a lot of white girls, a lot of Beckys now, they starting to get rumps. Notice that? Why do you think they're always in the tanning booths? Why? Because black women, Hispanic women, and Native Indian women, they want to be like you. They want to be like you. But again, what they're doing, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. But when you do it forever. Again, we said the song. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when you do it. Absolutely. Right? Okay. So now we just asked the question, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways. You're teaching them how to be like you. They're watching you. They're watching you, man. When you, if any of y'all remember, like the minstrel shows, you understand? And Steve and them wanted to be in blackface. What was he doing? He was imitating brothers that he studied, that he watched, talking like them, trying to dance like them, trying to move like them, man. Then what happens? Our people want to be like the oppressor, man. Again, man, our people have historically had a problem with trying to be like the oppressor, and it's not getting them anywhere. You're trying to be nice with the oppressor, man, and the oppressor just taking all your trinkets and your treasures, man, and learning your ways, learning to be like you. Why? When he learns to be like you, he is learning how to beat you. You understand? How to beat you so he can be you and get you up out of here. Right? But you should not want to be equal with your oppressor. You should want to be like him. The oppressor historically is what? Is the most evil and vile man on the face of the planet. He is the most savage. He has the most murders. That's who you want to be like? You understand? The oppressor had to establish monogamy. You understand? He had to establish monogamy through the Roman Empire so that he would not be extinct. Because his alternative lifestyle was going to erase him off the face of the earth. So he had to establish monogamy. Is that who you want to be like? I'm just asking. You want to be like the oppressor so bad. I'm asking. You want to be like the oppressor so bad. You want to claim to be African. Are you willing to drink cow urine? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to paint yourself with cow manure and jump in circles and pray for rain? Are you willing to do that? I'm just asking. Because this is what your oppressors do. This is just what a few of your oppressors do. This is the life they live. You understand? Right? Let's go to let's see. Let's go to Galatians if I could. Let's go to Galatians, man. I'm trying to bring out good information for our people, you understand? Again, because your church is not going to do this, man. We've been going through so many scriptures, bringing out so much information for tonight, man. What's your church do? What's your leaders do? They give you 2-3 scriptures. They close the book and they sing and dance. You understand? Let's go to the book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 26, Baba Kashar. Please.
John out of one time. The book of Galatians, chapter 5, and verse 26. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another.
See, this is what the fraternities do now. They glorify they glorify themselves. Vainglory. You understand? And then what happened? You hear about fraternities fighting each other for what? Over a step show? Over dorms? This is what they fight. This is what they fight for. They don't fight wars. They don't fight for the people. They fight for bragging rights for a year. Understand? And then envying one another. This is what they do. Then they place light skin over dark skin. You understand? You take a look at the fraternities, right? A lot of times, the like for instance, like the AKAs are predominantly light skinned sisters, and if they have a dark skinned sister, it's going to be a surprise. The Zeta women are the thick women, are the thick black women. The Deltas are the dark skinned women and the business women. You understand? Kappas are mostly light skinned brothers. If they have dark skin, it's a change up. Alphas are like the are the business types. And then Omega, the Omega 5s are what? Are the rough ones. You see how they divide it? See how they're so divided? And then you have the newer ones, the iotas. The iotas are pretty much the people who couldn't get into the upper fraternities and sorority. You know what I'm saying? The upper fraternities. Go ahead.
That's some heavy information right there. You broke that down Man, you mean to tell me, Adawan, that's really how it's categorized?
Yeah. Yeah. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look how they move. That's how they be. Right? Provoking one another, envying one another. You understand? Let's get some more information, man. Let's get this. Let's go to Titus. Let's go to Titus 3:3 real quick. Let's do some more of the New Testament.
I got it on your read on.
Go ahead, please.
All right, calm. The book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving divers lusts and pleasures.
Serving divers lusts. Okay. Keep going.
Divers lusts and pleasures.
Uh-huh.
Living in malice and in envy, hateful and hating one another.
Wow, you see that? And now just to go back to the article about the black fraternities and the quote from W.E.B. Du Bois, right? That said, like our college man today is the average man, untouched by real culture, doesn't have his own. He follows after somebody else's culture. And he deliberately surrenders to selfish and even silly ideals, swarming into semi-professional athletes and Greek-letter societies. We have in our colleges a growing mass of stupidity and indifference. It was in 1930 when he said this. And now when we go to the scriptures, which are in ancient days, talk about how we were foolish back then, disobedient, we were deceived. They fell for the oppressor's tricks. They fell for his shenanigans. They fell for the banana in the tailpipe back then. You understand? Going after their own lust and pleasures, living in malice and envy, being hateful and hating one another. Every time when you see the fraternities, the sororities, they're always in competition with one another, man. Fighting one another. They're not supporting each other, and they're not supporting the black community. You understand? They're not uplifting them. All right, they just want to glorify themselves. You understand? So now let's go back to the Old Testament, right? Because again, we want to bring out real good information, man, to make a real solid point, man, that you should not fall for the deception that Martin Luther King established back in the 60s. Don't fall for this. Don't fall for the SINtergration. You understand? Let's go to the book of Joshua. Go to the book of Joshua if we could. Chapter 23 and verse 11.
Turn out of one con. The book of Joshua, chapter 23 and verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. That ye love the Lord your God.
That's right. Keep going.
Verse 12. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you.
That's right. Hold on. So now this is Joshua. Now this is the man who took the helm after Moses to lead the people. He said, "Take heed to yourselves, you that love God." Okay, and if you should anywise go back, all right, you want to go back to these oppressors. You want to invite them into your home. You want to invite them into your families. You want to be a part of their family. All right. You want to be like what's that movie? The Invitation. Anybody heard of that? Anybody seen that? I know I saw a trailer for it, The Invitation. Essentially, you had a black girl went over in Europe to an oppressor's family who ended up being vampires and try to kill her. You want to go with these kind of people. These people, they people look at you as food. You're cattle, you're fodder to them, you're merchandise. You're nothing to them. You're not equal with them. You understand? You're servants, you're slaves. They don't love you. They only tolerate you. Next verse.
Verse 13. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you.
Oh wow, look at this. So now, once you have been rescued from these people, the Lord rescued you from these people, and now you want to go back, you want to intermingle with them, you want to mix up with them, you want to be integrated with them. Just know now the Lord is not going to save you no more. He's not going to take them out of your life no more. You understand? You're going to be a part of them, man. Keep reading.
But they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your side, and thorns in your eye, until ye perish from off this good land, which the Lord your God hath given you.
Now look at that. You want to do this? It's going to be hard to get rid of them. Everybody remembers the what? I mean, I realized it was very short-lived. The Black Lives Matter movement. Everybody remember that? As soon as you did that, what happens? Hey, all lives matter. All lives matter. And them folks integrated themselves into your movement.
That's right.
Integrate yourself into your movement. As a matter of fact, the movement was already a bust to begin with. Because why? Because you had black women living an alternative lifestyle, trying to lead the people, and trying to say that they want to uplift the black community, but you say nothing about fathers, about black men.
Right.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to lift up the community when you don't have leaders? You understand? Come on, man.
That's right.
Come on. This is what we're talking about, man. The scriptures are so solid with this, man, to help us. The scriptures are here. But again, man, your pastors are not. Your pastors aren't telling you this. Your pastors are only going to give you the words that you want to hear. The pastors are only going to give you words to motivate you to do what they want you to do, which sounds like what you want to do. I heard the other day about TD Jakes talking about like your $1 million, your $1 billion is right there. All you gotta do is just reach for it. Just reach for it. You can have it. You can have it. I promise you can't reach it from him. I promise you, he's not gonna give it to you. But he's gonna get the money from you, though. You understand? These pastors are crooks. You understand? They're motivational speakers. They're motivational speakers, man. They're not leading you. They're leaving you, man. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to. If I may, I was just going to say it's 23, and they still selling dreams.
Right. That's right. And what? But why should they stop selling? Why should they stop selling dreams? People are still buying them. You understand? People are still buying them. People are still buying into this integration. People are still buying into the dream that Martin Luther King had back then. You saw recently that they had a statue dedicated to him, right? That thing cost $10 million to make, and all it is a bunch of arms hugging each other. And when you look at it, you don't know what you're seeing. But apparently, it's called the embrace. It's supposed to come from a picture where Martin Luther King and his wife Coretta Scott were hugging each other. They were embracing each other after he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
10 million.
Right. Yeah. You see, we just talked the mirror down, and that's something that we just to bring up. He won the Nobel Peace Prize. He got the vainglory. He got the money for that. He got the recognition. Are blacks at peace now?
No, sir.
He got the Nobel Peace Prize. Were blacks at peace then?
No, sir.
You understand? They weren't at peace then. Come on, man. Matter of fact, speaking of which, let's go to Lamentations real quick. Let's go to Lamentations chapter 4.
God, number one, Khan. The book of Lamentations.
Okay.
What chapter was that, Adawan?
The book of Lamentations chapter 4, verse 14. Right. This is something. This is something else that Martin Luther King had us doing. You understand? Our people are still doing. These are some of the after effects of Martin Luther King's dream. You understand? The after effects of his integration. Go ahead. Start at verse 14.
Verse 14. They have wandered as blind men in the streets.
Wandered as blind men in the streets. You see when our people hold on real quick. You see when our people want to go protesting and marching. What are they marching against? Nothing. They just walk down the street holding signs and singing songs. They're not stopping anything. It's all for show. It's all for show. Just like when you saw that that so-called Israelite group, the one that I believe they love to dress in purple and they want to go and march for Kyrie Irving. For what? He even said he didn't know them. He don't know who they are. They want to do this for show. They want to march. What? They want to walk the streets like blind men. No direction. You're not going anywhere. You keep bumping into stuff, man. All right. Keep going.
Another one, Con. So that men could not touch their garment.
Okay. Keep going. Verse 15.
Verse 15. They cried unto them, depart ye. It is unclean. Depart, depart. Touch not. When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, they shall no more sojourn there. They
said to the heathen, we're not going to do anything else. We're not going to cause no more trouble. We're not going to walk around. You see what I'm saying? We're going to try to settle down with y'all. That's what Martin Luther King did, man. Had our people settling with the oppressor. Right? Now drop me down to verse 17.
Verse 17. As for us, our eyes yet fail for our vain help.
All right.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us.
You watch for a nation that cannot save you. Every year you think that this is going to be the year where Becky and Steve and Karen are finally going to respect you. They're finally going to respect you because you're trying to behave just like them. You think they're finally going to respect you because you trimmed your ways to be like them. You bleached your skin to be like them. You blonde your hair to be like them. You change your accent. You change your dialect to be like them. You change how you dress to be like them. Why should they respect you? You're nothing but a pet. You're a puppet. You're a toy to them. Why should they respect you? You don't have your own standards. You don't stand on anything. And what's the old school line say? A man that can't stand for anything, a man that stands on nothing will fall for everything.
Right.
You understand? Why should they respect you? Come on, man. Again, man, it's right here in these scriptures, man. Our people are looking for a vain help. You should not be looking for the oppressor to help you, man. You should be looking for the Most High to help you, man. And the Most High is sending you people. The Most High has sent Community Yahanna. The Most High has sent I.S.U.P.K to help blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to get out of this oppression, get out of this captivity. You understand? Stop looking for them, man. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we could squeeze in a few more scriptures real quick. Can we do it? What we got? What we got? And let's see. Yeah, we'll do one more. Let's do our last scripture, man. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. We'll do the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8, and verse 20. To the law and to the testimony.
Mm-hmm. To the law and to the testimony. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, to the law and to the testimony. Everything you heard today that was spoken, everything you've read, you understand, in the book. You understand, in this Bible. You understand? Keep going.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word,
okay,
it is because there is no light in them.
That's right. To everything you've heard, everything you've read, along with us. If they don't speak according to this word, you understand? According to what we have said in this class, which men above me have taught me, you understand? They don't talk like this. They don't teach like this. You understand? According to the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, start out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Yahanna, is because there is no light in them. There is no truth in them. You understand? They are false prophets. They are liars, and they are not leaders. If they lead you to anything, they will lead you and leave you in destruction. And with that, we'll pass the class off to preaching officer, Napash Kaya.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. Well, the I.S.U.P.K started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When new brother and sister come to the school, they are limited for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. My Aishara, that means 10 in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the church a prominent teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. The next holy convocation is going to be the Feast of Purim. It's going to be on the 14th and the 15th day of the 12th month. It's going to be Sunday, March 5th, and Monday, March 6th. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Remind Akim by walking to check the mudboard hallway. If any brother, Slocky. Yes, you also have the 54th annual Lord's Passover. Give them Most High hand. Make sure you have your fees, your $200 for anybody who's 17 and older. $200 is going to be held in Raleigh, North Carolina. You can look up the website at ISUPK.com for more information and details. Okay. Oh, Slocky. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, or scarf. With that, give one curse to the teacher. Mid Israel. But my Sabbat. Almighty. Rock. Yahweh Bashem Yahshabakathar. Well, I said to Allah Shawakadash, may the Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. Y'all taught me hands down, class dismissed.